So I've decided kind of on a whim that I am going to do an impromptu trip. I'm going to go up to Nebraska and visit some friends. I'm going to camp at one of the lakes there in the Lincoln area. I decided to stop and get something to eat. I think I'm in Fort Scott, Kansas. I'm not completely sure. So anyway, stopped at Sonic to get something to eat, and then I'm going to eat that real quick and then get on the road and hopefully get set up at the campsite before dark. Well, I am on the road again. Decided it was going to be a long trip if I didn't stop and eat lunch. I've been up since I don't know, pretty early this morning because I had to work from 6 to 10. Kind of spur of the moment decided that I needed to go on a trip, and then I thought, well, I haven't been to Nebraska in a few years and haven't seen some friends, so I decided to go ahead and do that. Part of the reason why I decided I needed to take a trip is I've just been having a lot of anxiety and depression lately, and thought that a trip would do me good. I'm planning on staying at Pawnee State Lake, just west of Lincoln, and this will also be my first motorcycle camping trip. According to my GPS here, I still have almost 4.5 hours. I kind of feel bad that my wife couldn't go with me, but she had to work this weekend. Next weekend though, we're both going camping, but we're taking the car. I got some beer and some breakfast for the morning, and I ate something, and now I'm heading out to the lake to set up my tent. I didn't try to meet up with anyone tonight because I didn't know when I'd get in and all that good stuff, so I figured I'd just meet up with them tomorrow. I think it's really neat how they plant flowers in the middle of those towers. Man, it has been a long time since I've been down. Mother. Just lost GoPro. As soon as I lost my GoPro, I pulled over, and in my mirror, I saw the first car behind me swerve to miss the GoPro, and the car behind them pulled over, reached out of their door and grabbed it and sped off. So that's the kind of welcome I got to Lincoln, Nebraska. Yay! Like an idiot, I forgot to bring my good microphone, and the wind noise was so bad in this clip that the audio was completely unusable. But basically, I was just talking about how I was still upset that someone stole my GoPro, and that I was really happy that I was able to get my tent set up before dark, and that I was just going to enjoy the rest of my evening drinking a beer and watching the waves, and that I was having a pretty good time despite the fact that I could not in good conscience have a campfire since it was far too windy. Well, it has been an extremely long day, so I think I'm gonna turn out the light and go to bed. So yeah, it rained hard last night, and apparently my tent's not waterproof anymore. I don't know why. I bought it when I was 16 and I'm 40 now, so I haven't had it that long. But my clothes that I wore yesterday, apparently they are all soaked now because I could wring them out. Just so y'all know, I'm not lying about how wet my clothes got in the tent last night. I will go over all of the stuff that I brought while camping, and I'll mention about, you know, whether or not it was good for this trip or not, give a review on the newer stuff. Okay, we got an axe that I bought when I was 9 years old. We've got a Magellan camp pillow. It says it's large. I don't know, I guess they measure their pillows the way some guys measure their, but that was a good purchase. It wasn't very expensive and it was passable. There's my Coleman camp pans. I got those when I was 16. Got the Magellan stove a few days ago. It works well. It might be a problem in strong wind, but it works well and it's light, packs easily. I've got my LL Bean cup, and got this new coffee thing, and got my Zippo lighter. It doesn't work as well as Zippo climbs. I've got the off, which I would highly recommend bringing that. I've got my sleeping bag, but that one is rated for 0 degrees, and I had to sleep on top of it because it was way too hot to sleep with it. I got my Coleman air mattress. That works really well. It hasn't leaked at all, and I've had that since I've had that for probably 8 or 10 years. And then over there is my tent. I've had this tent since I was 16, and the company that made it isn't even in business anymore. They got bought out by somebody else. But it's been a really good tent. I'm gonna see if I can waterproof it and still use it, but I need to do something with it before I use it again. You know, I would like to sit down, but I don't have a dry place to sit right now. So I'm probably going to just finish drinking my coffee, break down my camp. You can see my drone case here is conspicuously missing something. The drone. I decided I was going to do a flyover of the campsite in my motorcycle and everything, and thought it'd be a nice addition to this video. But some reason my drone unexpectedly dropped and the sensors weren't working or something because it hit the tree. And so now my drone is in the top of that tree and there's no way for me to get it out. Nice gentleman over there. He helped me look for it. Said if he can get it out later, he'll send it to me. I gave him my phone number and everything, so it is what it is. It's turning into an expensive trip.
My husband is trying to help a gentleman who lost his droid, or his drone, this last weekend up in the tree. And there it is. Good job! Yay! Well, we'll have to now, the gentleman has Avery and them exchange numbers, so yay! Congratulations!
And then you send it to me.
Yes, I will.
Well, I'm all packed up and ready to go. I'll be on my way. Go to Lincoln and figure out where I'm going to meet up with friends for lunch and text them and let them know. Last night I thought I would camp the farthest away from everybody so that it would be quiet, and then there were these random guys that were doing some night fishing, and not only were they noisy, but they kept shining their damn flashlight up at my tent, and it was kind of pissing me off. So I was actually glad when it started raining because they left and I was able to fall asleep. There's a country song that talks about they stopped at a little truck stop diner right out of Lincoln. Well, that Shoemakers has to be the truck stop they're talking about, because it is the only truck stop in Lincoln, or just out of Lincoln, that has a diner. Whenever I see a bus, I always think to myself that I'm glad I don't drive a bus anymore. There is the Pinnacle Arena, and this down here is the Haymarket. I'm going to come back to the Haymarket and do some walking around here in a little while. I'm going to walk around the university area too, because why not? Yeah, so I went to school here at UNL. I decided since I was in Lincoln I needed to stop and check it out, maybe go to the sculpture garden, which is the place that I used to go all the time. When I went to school here, I absolutely loved it when somebody would ask me where the love library was, because then I could tell them that they had been looking for love in all the wrong places, and then I would tell them where it was at. Of course, nobody ever thought the joke was as funny as I did. When I lived here, this was always my favorite sculpture because I could really relate to it, because, you know, being put in a box and expected to fulfill certain expectations and feeling like you're trapped because you wanted out of that box, but you couldn't quite get out of the box because of societal expectations. And so I really related to this sculpture. When I went to school here, I did most of my studying out here in this sculpture park. So it was really peaceful, and in some ways the sculptures and the art helped me to think. So I've always loved art. wanted to leave earlier, but I had a friend I haven't seen in years, and he wasn't able to meet up with me until about 3:30, so I stayed to meet up with him. And now I'm heading home, so I'm just gonna be kind of late, and tomorrow's gonna be a long day at work, but I think it was worth it. I'm really glad that my wife suggested that I come spend the night instead of driving both ways in one day. Yeah, I'll easily make it to Nebraska City before I need gas. It's not nearly as hot as it was yesterday. I had to stop about every hour. I had to stop yesterday to get water. And once I got to Lincoln, I still felt dehydrated. Just stopped here in south of Kansas City to get gas. I wish I had the camera on while going through Kansas City, because it's kind of a really neat city to go through it when it's dark. But I didn't want to make an extra stop to turn the GoPro on, so